Hey friends, happy Monday! Back at it again with baby names. This time it is boy names. And I think I found my boy name. When doing research the other night, I came across a name that I always have liked, but it's up there right now, like way up there in the popularity trend. And so I just kind of didn't really consider it, but I told my husband the name, and he's like, "Oh, I like that name." I was like, "Yeah, but it's really popular." He said, So I think I'm going to be going against that rule of mine, but it's okay because I love the name. But this is not about that name. This is about names that I love, but just won't use for whatever reason. Again, it might not go with our name, or it's multiple syllables, just doesn't go with the many, many rules, but still a name that I really like. And the first one would be Elijah. And I love it's a biblical name, and it just sounds really elegant. I don't know. I love it. And the reason why it would not be allowed, it's three syllables for one, but it's the name of a character in the Vampire Diaries. So my husband immediately vetoes anything that has to do with the Vampire Diaries or any sort of show, which I'm understanding of that. I wouldn't want to have a name that is from a movie or anything like that, but I liked the name before the show even was out. But as soon as I say Elijah, he's like, "Oh, Vampire Diaries." So can't do that one. And everybody else I know who likes Vampire Diaries or knows about the character would say the same thing, because everybody knows that I really like the Vampire Diaries. Anyway, the second name is Atticus, which just so happens to be a character on the Vampire Diaries also. But I really think it's a really unique name. But the reason why we wouldn't be able to use it is it doesn't flow with our other kids' names, and it's just not our personalities, I guess. To me, it seems more theatrical. So people that are in the theater might put it as their kids' names, but I really do love the name Atticus. There's also Henry. I've liked that name since I was a teenager. It just sounds really nice, but I wouldn't want Hank to be the nickname. I just feel like if I chose the name Henry, people may say Hank, and I like Henry. I don't know, it sounds very regal, royal sounding. I know that there's royalty with Henry, but I don't know, it sounds really elegant. And then I like the name Jacob, but I have a cousin named Jacob and a cousin named Jacoby, so that would be out. And I would want the baby to be named Jacob, and not the nickname Jake. I just like the name Jacob. And then Levi is one that I just recently came across, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And then the meaning of Levi, or the origin with Levi, is really cool also, that it's a biblical name, and in the Bible, it was the name of Matthew the apostle before he became an apostle. So he's Levi, and then he turned to Matthew. And my husband's name is Matthew, and that's the middle name of our firstborn. So I just think that it's really cute. I told my husband that'd be really cute to have a name Levi Matthew. That would be a cute idea. Obviously, we wouldn't use that. But I like the name Levi. And another new name that I came across was Harrison. Well, obviously Harrison Ford, but I never really saw it on a list as high as it was, I guess, recently. The name Harrison is looking kind of popular, but it's just, I don't know, it's a really strong sounding name, but it's, again, not the kind of name that we would have our kids, especially since we already have kind of a flow of their names. So name really has to fit with the other kids. And then the next name is Eugene. I don't know. I know that there's characters that have been named Eugene that are kind of nerdy, but then there's also Flynn Rider, who his original name was Eugene. I don't know. It's just I like the name. And then there's Micah. I really like the name Micah. It's a biblical name, and I've only known one Micah, and that was a childhood friend, and I've just always liked the name once I heard that. And I was really considering it, but then my third born, his middle name is Michael. And so if I was going in order of yelling at the kids' first and middle name in order, as soon as I hit my third born, I'd say Adam Michael and then Micah whatever. It just wouldn't work. It'd be a tongue twister for sure. And the next is George. I've just always thought that it was, I don't know, just a very strong name. And regal and royal, obviously, but it was just a really strong sounding name. And then the final one that I really like is Edward. And even the way I said that, just immediately you think, Vampire Diaries. Or not Vampire Diaries, excuse me, Twilight. And that would be the reason why it would get vetoed. But unfortunately, one of those things where you like a name and then suddenly it becomes popular. Because I really did like the name Edward, and then the popularity of the Vampire Diaries came out, and then it was just gone. Vampire Diaries, Twilight. So, yeah, there are a lot of names here I'm just now realizing that are characters, but I wouldn't be using them anyway. So those are 10 names that I really like, but won't be using for some reason or another. So if you have any suggestions of boy names, let me know, because the name we have, that one's not as solid as the girl name. My husband, he said he likes it, but he's not set on it like the girl name. So let me know if you have any other suggestions, and I will think about it. Have a good night.